It's graduation summer here for the Trap House Collective Sunroom edition. It's your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, L Boogie, with the hoodie. Come on in and sip this tea with your cousin. I hope that the last few days have been good for you, have been revealing, promising, beneficial, favoring, showed you where you were favored. Now that came out for Patreon, so I gotta make sure that it's shuffled right. That you now know just how special you are, just how profound and individual your journey is here on this earth. And if not, I hope you're moving closer and closer to that revelation. The theme of this week is summer graduation. Okay, so that is y'all thing. Okay, summer graduation. The shadow focus is in the root chakra, renewal. Nothing like the renewal of spring and summer. It's been cold, it's been rainy, the seasons have been, fruitful in their own way. But depending upon who you are and how you value each season, you may be much like me. You can't wait till it's spring, summer, early fall, right? Because there's nothing like that season of renewal. There's nothing like the world unthawing. It's nothing like 6-7 month goals finally budding. You're able to see that the fruits of your labor were actually worth it and beneficial. For the last few weeks since the Sagittarius full moon, the focus has been on like that spiritual commencement ceremony. And I mentioned that sometimes everybody doesn't graduate at the same time. Some people have to graduate late. Sometimes people have to graduate delayed. And it shouldn't be discredited at all. In fact, the fact that you weren't able to walk when everyone else did, your finish line was moved a little further back because likely whatever your experience in life is more complex than everyone else who was able to go together in the collective. You were still able to endure and complete whatever the task was in order for you to receive your victorious crown, your laurel, your graduation cap, and then change your tassel from one side to the other side. And you did it by yourself. You didn't do it with everyone else. So summer graduation is what I heard as I was sitting down to get in the energy for recording this video. Some people are just now getting to the culmination of understanding and the culmination of spirit that some reached a couple of weeks ago with the Sagittarius full moon. We'll have a new moon in Gemini June 7th. So this upcoming week, 5 days from now, I'll have a video up for you guys in a couple of days, but Jupiter's in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini, the sun is in Gemini, the moon will be in Gemini. This is going to be a season of renewal. You will quite literally be able to feel the warmth beaming out from you and around you. You will be able to look around you and see how things have changed from winter into spring, how what was once frozen is now thawed, what was once uncertain, you're now able to relish in all of it. Even the uncertainty, you're like, oh, I get why I couldn't know. Now I understand why I couldn't know. Shadow focus is guilt in the sacral chakra. This card has been coming up for weeks. I mean, in individual readings, Patreon readings, collective readings. It's the sacral chakra. We're in Gemini season. The sacral chakra is ruled by your inner child. The Gemini is ruled by the inner child, or is the inner child representative. The Gemini placement in our chart is reflective of that childhood wound and pain that we need to overcome and not feel guilty about doing it. Chiron is not technically ruled by a planet, but modern astrologers say that Chiron is ruled by Mercury, therefore giving it even more of the inner child correlation, because Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury rules Virgo, and Virgo is the nurturer usually of their friends. They are the parent of their friend group, and doing so, they teach their friends how to have the necessary resources, tasks, and tools in order to nurture themselves when they feel like they can't find any support, without being guilty in retrieving that, without feeling guilty of leaving the person behind who you've been sharing all your energy with. You see, this girl is ironing someone's shirt and she has an angel halo, but the person that she's ironing the shirt is back here getting drunk. This person can help themselves. They just need a little bit of direction, dexterity, dedication, ability, accountability. And a lot of times they won't get that until you stop pacifying them. The same could be true because, hey, I like to believe that my cousins are always in the upper hand, but it's life. So that's not realistic. You could be the one not doing anything for yourself and you're letting someone else grin and bear it for you. They're bearing your cross. They're bearing your ankh. They're bearing your weight and your accountability. And you're likely not going to stand on your own 2 feet. You're likely not going to get your own spiritual understanding. You're likely not going to be rooted in your own consciousness, religious belief, spiritual practices, belief in self until they abandon you. And don't make them feel guilty because they're abandoning you. Don't make them feel guilty because they're saying, oh no, I got to draw a hard line. I love you, baby, but you got to do this on your own. I brought you this far and now I got to leave you. I'll be there to celebrate you. I'll even maybe be cheering you on, but I got to go. Because a lot of times, whether it's a spiritual journey or a physical journey, we are not able to activate in our truth and in our full purpose and fashion until we realize that that's the only way that we will survive. This is bottom of the deck. Also in the sacral chakra. Completion is the theme. You see, she's in a graveyard, attempting to say goodbye, likely to this person here. And this person here is mad that, or sad rather, that she's so sad. And that she feels like their process is so complete that she'll never see him again. She'll never feel him again. But we should take note of how the card is orange, the sunset is orange, the flowers are orange. Even the deity that he's wrapped around has orange hue, letting us know that if we return back to the mind of a child, we will be able to see that even when there's a completion, that's only a new beginning. This ancestor is looking for new ways to communicate with this girl. I may not be able to pick up the phone. I may not be at my house in my rocking chair when you get there. But if you will just allow yourself to connect with your internal inner wisdom that you were born with. That's why they say children have been here before, or that children can see spirits, because they can. They still have the innocence and the ability to see through realms. One of my favorite movies, and it's usually what I reference when I'm talking about the sacral chakra, is the movie Hook with Robin Williams. He had gotten so far away from the fact that he was Peter Pan. Never grow up. Never let him take your heart. He had gotten so far away from that he ultimately ended up stealing his children's inner children and innocence. That's why Hook kidnapped them. Esoterically. Go to my Patreon if you want to hear the breakdown and the decode and not necessarily gematria, because I didn't do gematria of that movie. I have done of dozens of movies, but that one was more about the esoteric synopsis of how it all connects. He had lost his inner child so bad that he had severely impacted then the childhood of his own children. Didn't want his son to play with the baseball in the house, didn't feel like his daughter should be playing with the dolls, ultimately got them kidnapped by Hook, and the only way he was going to save them from Hook is if he was able to eat imaginary food with the Lost Boys. They was not going to let him back into the gang until he could prove that not only could he see the imaginary food, but he could taste the imaginary food. And taste is ruled in the sacral chakra. So the first thing when you're trying to recalibrate or rejuvenate or renew your sacral space in your inner child, you want to start with the palate of your tongue. I know in some countries they eat ice cream to cleanse the palate. Some countries they make sure that they, wipe it down with a lemon or what have you, or certain herbal remedies. Citrus infused baths, citrus infused drinks, all will help recalibrate your sacral chakra energy. The sacral chakra is based in the navel. So doing navel exercises, rubbing organic castor oil on your navel will also remove any blockage or negative energy that may be there, and then giving you a sense of renewal. You will also have a sense of completion of realizing that, yes, my childhood may have been hard. Yes, the things that I have endured have been, not even written for the worst person on earth, but that was just a part of the cycle. It has come to completion, and now I'm able to rebirth and regenerate and renew through a whole nother season. So the focus of the week, y'all, is in those lower chakra spaces. Sacral and root, your inner child and your ancestors. If you are on my Patreon, Black Church this morning was about the book of Job. It's 42 chapters. Y'all go check it out. Make sure y'all go read the book of Job on your own. But even when it seems like things are being completed, you are being gifted a whole nother season. Renewal. You are being renewed by the status of your mind always. And sometimes in order for you to do that, you have to uproot yourself, replant yourself in the proper soil in order for you to grow to who and what you really are here to be. Ace of Wands. Because this season, likely since April, has been the season of renewal for you. Has been the season of realizing that this is a season of completion. And if I continue to try to hold on to this season, then I'm only going to lose more of myself. If I continue to hold on to the guilt of leaving something or someone behind, then I'm only going to continue to lose more of myself. But now being renewal, June 1st, it's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. You're going to be able to see and receive the opportunities that maybe are seeming like they are coming out of nowhere. If you're in that batch of my cousins that was on a spiritual punishment since about January of this year, I said that in June, you will be able to feel that things have completely shifted for you. And you will now feel that you are being favored again, that God has not turned a blind eye to you. Here it is. Chime in. If you were one of those people who remember me saying that, because I have no idea what recording it was. I just know it was around in January. If you were one of those people who was like, yeah, man, I think I'm definitely being punished for something I did or did not do, something that one of my ancestors did or did not do, but now you can feel the shift now that we're in June, comment below. But it's going to seem like these opportunities this week are going to connect together like magnets. But that's going to be because you got all the dust off of there. You got everything out of your way. You removed all of the guilt. You relieved all of the death by realizing that the death is just another cycle of rebirth. You weren't afraid to be the fool. This came out on Patreon, but out of a whole nother deck. Because we all play the fool sometimes. The tarot deck is the journey of the fool. It's the fool's journey. It's a boy who's graduating from high school, for lack of a better word, and he's going off into the world, and all he has with him is his little, I forgot what this is called, a little knapsack, his dog, a flower, a feather, and his laurels. But those laurels are the fact that he's already won many times. The feather is his connection to spirit. The flower is, it may not bloom always, but it does have its season. And what will you do with your season when it is time for you to bloom? A dog, of course, a dog is a man's best friend, but it also could be spiritual guide, your spirit guide, always having your back and always being there with you. But he ultimately has everything that he needs in order to at least start the journey. The journey is going to have its twists and its turns and its winds and its waves. But he at least has what he needs to start the journey, and he has to embark on the journey towards renewal. Because when you leave your parents' house, you're now becoming yourself. You're moving now away from almost everything that your parents have taught you, and you're moving closer and closer and closer to what you actually were born to be. So as one season is coming to completion, you are rebirthing through a whole nother cycle, coming out on the other side. Root chakra, ancestral chakra, you are now becoming your own parent in a sense. Four of Wands, it's a celebration. It's a time to celebrate. The entire month of June is going to probably feel like a celebration. And not just because of baby showers, weddings, and graduations. It's a summer graduation. Summer commencement ceremony. And remember, these wins may not be visible or tangible by other people. You may try to explain to someone what you've been experiencing. And they may look at you like, oh. And that in and of itself can kill your momentum of what you just achieved. So remember that this spiritual graduation is a personal one. It's a personal one. No one knows what you've gone through. No one knows how much completion and guilt that you've held on to, and the completion ceremonies that you've had to conduct in order for you to get there. No one knows who and what you've had to say goodbye to in order to get to this sense of renewal. So celebrate yourself and your wins unapologetically. The Lovers, Gemini. This is the Gemini card. Venus is in Gemini. Sun is in Gemini. Moon will be in Gemini on the 7th. Self-love is at the core of all the relationships. If you are in a partnership, you will likely feel closer to your partner than you guys have in a few months. If you're single and you've kind of been down on yourself about love or about down on your luck in love, this is going to change the energy for you. But remember what I said a couple of weeks ago about Venus being in Gemini. Venus is a flirt. Venus in Gemini is specifically and especially a flirt. So don't make plans for marriage just yet. Be in love with the idea of love. Be in love with the energy of love. Remember that all things in this earth, in this world, are based on love. Even the haters are only haters because they lack love. They wish they had love. So look for love in all things. That will also help you renew. 3 of Cups. Coming together with something this week. Whether that is your spiritual awareness, a breakthrough, spending some time with friends. Again, celebrating your wins. Small wins. Formulating new bonds with people that you can celebrate your big wins with. I love when I see the girls who are in nursing school celebrate each other so heavily, because it's like, y'all don't know what we've been through as a group. That's why warriors and army soldiers and survivors of those situations are so close or have these untaintable, unbreakable bonds, because you don't know what they've been through together in order to get there. So maybe this week is going to have some sort of revelation for you about who's been there for you when it wasn't that easy, who's been there for you even when you were winning, and those are the people who you want to have at your table, whether it's a good season or a bad season. Third house is ruled by Gemini, which is Mercury. We're in Gemini season again. So there also may be some conversations that are exchanged between you, another organization, another person, another entity that's fruitful and working out in your favor. Don't focus on monetary issues. Focus on spirits. Money is going to be there. The book of Ecclesiastes, really the book of Job too, is heavily talking about how you cannot be so hell-bent on attaining and achieving your riches that you completely forgot that the reason why you are here is to be a direct reflection of the existence of God, right? And when you do that, God says it time and time again throughout holy texts that if you are loyal and diligent to what I tell you to do, then I will bless you so heavily that your children's children will never do without. That your baby calf, will be the most healthiest one that you've ever seen. You will have this land forever, right? Because by being loyal and diligent to your work, your craft, your gift, and what you are here for on earth, your purpose, then you are able to receive everything that just comes with the territory of being diligent to what the Most High told you to do, right? But the minute you lose focus and say, the only reason why I'm going to do this is because I can make money from it. And if I can't make the most money from it, then I don't want to do it at all. And if I can make more money by manipulating people or pulling the wool over people's eyes or by maybe posing as something that I am not, then I'm definitely down to do that. Then you lose your connection to spirit. And then you've completely lost your way. And then you may have to be put into a period of isolation or deep hermetic reflection before you are able to be rewarded again. But if you don't focus on the monetary issues and instead focus on spirit, and that everything is always working out the way it should, and everything is always connected to you in the most high fashion, then you will be able to have a different outcome every time. Because even when it is a less than ideal outcome, it will still be prosperous for you. Pisces is another energy that's coming out. So maybe some Pisces or water signs or Pisces placements are really feeling the bulk of this energy of being in this sense of renewal, letting go of trying to hold on to everything. Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac in the astrological journey, Pisces is always handling things that other people won't handle. And maybe Pisces is finally realizing that if they let go of it, then other people will have no choice but to stand up and take care of their own shit. So Pisces placements might be feeling that. Wherever Saturn is in your chart, Pisces, Saturn is in your Pisces placement now. So go look and see what your Pisces placement is in your chart. And that's where you will be able to see where Saturn is rocking them and socking them with you. Y'all, the Fool. Here it comes again. That's to the Fool. And what's 2 zeros? That's perfect ojos. I can see with my eyes. You can see perfect vision now. You maybe have gone through some things that maybe clouded your vision, had you slightly confused, had you doubtful that you were able to accomplish the things that you know you were set here to do. But that journey and that doubt has come to completion. And now you're able to see that, we all play the fool, but I just have to get up and be willing to be on my own journey. Because even when you know everything about one task, there's going to be a million things you don't know about another task, and you have to be willing to be okay with not knowing that. Leo energy comes out. Now, let me shuffle these again, because that's 2 cards that came out for Patreon earlier today. But also could be some Leo placements finally realizing that them sleeping on themselves is not doing them any good. Or sleeping yourself in certain ways, because Leos are almost always very aware of how dope they are, but they are the child of the zodiac. So sometimes they just need a little bit more reassurance that they're doing the right thing and that they're on the right journey. Fear is what's making you question it. What? That's the only reason why you're not fully blossoming into your season of renewal, because you're afraid of what you can be or what you will be if you completely blossom. Aries, this fire season, and the moon is in Aries today. So, what is being lit up for you? What is being initiated? Where are you being self-initiated? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. The self-initiator, the self-starter. Realizing, again, like I said a couple of weeks ago, it doesn't matter who you pray to, what you believe in. None of it's going to work if you don't work. You got to take care of your own hopes and dreams. And then you will be rewarded. Because your hopes and dreams are a seed that was planted by the Most High energy. And when I say Most High energy, I do mean the Most High God and Goddess. That's why I say Most High. Because that's the Most High energy. Masculine and feminine energy. A mother and a father energy. So that's why I like to say Most High. Because that definitely is the umbrella. For me, anyway. But that's the seed that was placed in you by the Most High energy. And in order for you to allow it to fully blossom, then you will have to toil at it. Make it the best that it can be. Lead by example. There's somebody waiting for you to tell your story or complete your story so they can be like, oh, shoot. If they can do it, I can do it. Thoughts create your reality. What you're thinking, you're receiving. So think good shit. Don't blame nobody else. Express your feelings, but do it in an intentional fashion. Don't be sloppy with it. Don't be sloppy with your feelings. Inspire others. What I say? If you don't live, then other people won't know. You are here for a reason. Come on, Spirit. Practice moderation. Because everything's good for you, but only in moderation. Okay? All right, let me get the final energies that we're going to pull. And I don't think I've did the Messy Bessie cards over here on the YouTube collective in a long time. So we're going to see. What does the collective need to know that may be hidden from them about this journey that they've been on? What did they not know? Because for what it looks like, they all been going through this journey of, it may even kind of be proverbial struggle. And they don't believe that the good time is here, or that the good time is getting ready to roll in. So what do they not know? What has been hidden? Okay, reflecting. Someone knows that you've been reflecting, or an energetic energy knows that you've been reflecting, and because of that, they've been cock blocking. See, this is on top of thoughts create your reality. So you might have been in meditation, deep reflecting, deep setting intention, and whatever energetic entity is trying to throw you off of that, was like, oh, we know which way they're going. That's why I've been saying forever, don't let people know what you got going on. If they don't know what you're doing, they can't attack it. Crying over you, sad, hurt, and upset. They're mad because you've not been letting them in. They've had to infiltrate your thoughts, your energy via spiritual intervention because you're not talking to them. You're not connecting with them. And they're sad about that. You better keep protecting them boundaries. Move in silence. You better keep protecting those boundaries. They do not need to know what you got going on. We already know that they've been thinking that you were great and dope, and that's why they've been cock blocking you. Don't let it happen. Into you, good chemistry, great vibes, and positive energy. Likely, like I said, with that Lover's card, you're finally getting the opportunity to either love yourself wholeheartedly or your relationship is reaching new boundaries, and they are mad about that too. Maybe try to cock block your relationship. Maybe try to say something false or imply something or, make y'all break up, but it's not going to work. Girl fight, arguments, physical fight, at war, competing. But you can't compete when you the boss. It's hard to play Jermaine when you really Mike Jack. Mike don't need to speak. Mike is Mike. Mike been dead since 2009, and my daughter and her friends love Michael Jackson, and they were born in 2016. I'm just saying. Uninterested. Don't let this phase you. Continue to move unbothered. It's not going to phase you. You are literally on a journey of awakening and coming back to self and receiving your rewards because of that. Don't be down on yourself either because you were the fool. You feel like you wasted some time, some energy, what have you, investment. It happens. But now you learned. Maybe you need to go move your body, get in shape. Maybe some of y'all are running from something though. And it could be the guilt. You're running from the guilt. Face the guilt head on. If you're the person who's in the back, who's making somebody else feel guilty, get your ass up. It's time for you to make a move. It's time for you to do something and stop making somebody else carry your torch. That's a bad habit. Drugs, addiction, toxicities. Let it go. On that card, that girl's drinking. So someone definitely watching may be dealing with an addiction or the ability or the tendency to lean upon extracurricular activities as opposed to dealing with their feelings. And then with that Pisces energy coming up, that also could be confirmation because Pisces ruled by Neptune, escapism, drugs, alcohol, addictions. If you know someone or it is you, don't be afraid of, getting help, going to rehab, whatever is necessary. Is your life. Take control of it. Cyberbully, you are being bullied online and you have suffered from it. I don't know who needs to hear this. I've said it a few times over the years. I know that we live in this content creator world. But if you can't be creative enough to create content around you as an individual in the life that you live or a character that you've created, without bringing your family and your children specifically into it, then that's not your lane. I'm sorry. If the people don't want to see you and they don't want to like and share and subscribe and watch you again next week, then that's not what you should be doing. Because if you feel like you need to bring your entire family, husband, dogs, kids, cats, birds, onto social media, and every time something is happening in your home, you have a camera in someone's face, you are disciplining your child on camera, you're talking about the argument you and your partner had on camera. Okay, that's fine. You want to show us what you made today? Cool. But we don't need to know everything. And I said years ago, some of y'all watching this may be too young, but just go look it up. The baby on the Nirvana album, I think that Nirvana album came out in 91, 95, something like that. That baby on that Nirvana album just turned like 24 or 25 or something, not too long ago. And he sued David Grohl and all those boys, the band, and his mother, I believe, because she let them pay her $200 in the 90s and put his naked baby picture on an album that is a carbon footprint for the rest of his life without his approval. And some people are like, oh, that's absolutely crazy. Why would that happen? The judge threw it out. But I guarantee you that in a few years, those will be a lot of cases. And he may be one of the first people who is going to receive some sort of compensation or reward because his parents decided to exploit him when he was just a child and they should have just been protecting him. So the world's already a hard enough place. The world's already a weird enough place. If you can't figure out how to market yourself by yourself, for yourself, then you don't need to be doing it. That opens up the world again to cyberbullying. I just couldn't imagine to be a kid whose parent always had a camera in their face, and then you go to school and your comrades are talking about what your mom posted. We don't even want our moms to show old photo album pictures of us. And y'all are putting all of the intimate moments of your family online. Absolutely insane. And then wondering why your child is dealing with what they are dealing with in the hallways of the school. You're giving the bully ammo. Cyberbullying is a whole nother thing. Do you know how many websites there are that there are pictures that you maybe even forgot you posted and it's on a website somewhere of you and your family and your children? And it's not because they want to admire you. It's not going into a Walmart picture frame. It's going into somebody's weird sex dungeon photo album. Anyways, threatening, intimidated, threatening and bothered, threatened and bothered. Your presence may be threatening someone. Someone else may be intimidated or bothered by your presence. And that's why they want to fight you. Or that's why they want to bully you. But you can't feel guilty for leaving that behind. Karmic friends, can't fully trust them. Tension, secret competition. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I've never been a keep your enemies closer type of gal. Keep that motherfucker far, far from away from me. But I'm going to stay really in tune with spirit so I know when some shit is off. So that when that bitch tries to send me something, I hit her so fucking quick with a return hex to the fucking forehead. She don't know what touched her. Karmic friends could also be the Three of Cups and the Lovers, though. Because the Lovers is third-party energy, and if this was a love reading, I would have definitely said your nigga's cheating on you, or your girl is cheating on you. So there could be some shit that is being hidden from you, or that has yet to reveal itself in totality with your karmic friends that maybe you've been ignoring or running from, that you're not going to have the opportunity to do that any longer. You're going to have to face it head on and deal with what comes. Wasting time, stuck, no changes, limited. I've been saying for weeks, if you've been understanding and learning nothing from this shift that we're in, self-sustainability, self-awareness, self-accountability, self-visibility. You want to be famous? Get you a camera and prop it up and go hard until enough people watch you and like you. Like, don't chase the industry. Don't chase the status quo. Don't do what everybody else is doing. But if you feeling like you're stuck, it could just be because you won't let the completion happen. You've been sitting in the graveyard. Meanwhile, everything has moved on. The world does not stop just because you lost something that you cared near and dear for. Same is true for you not feeling guilty because something else was lost and you like, I can't leave it behind, but if I don't keep going, then I'm going to lose myself. Inner child energy. Many of us just survived what we lived through. So when we got to the point of escape, we could finally escape whatever it was. We never looked back. But our inner child is still there. On that bench, at that playground, in that house, in that closet. And she or he wants you to know that you don't need to feel guilty because you healed yourself, but don't leave me back here. In fact, take me with you into all of your experiences. Yesterday, I got to kick it with one of my homegirls that I haven't seen in 25 years. She's one of my first friends I've ever had. And I got to kick it with her for the first time in 25 years. And life has changed a lot since then. But seeing each other, we realize we ain't changed at all. We're still the same inner children, young 4 and 5-year-olds that met each other back in 1989. And it was just a beautiful combination because it was such a beautiful day for my adult self and my inner child and my mental and my spiritual. So bring your inner child with you on the experiences. In fact, let your inner child dictate if y'all gonna go with them or not. Because your inner child may still be triggered by certain people that you want to go and see, or certain habits or practices that you want to do. So listen to your inner child. But if you're feeling stuck or like there's nothing changing, it's because you haven't changed. You're stuck in the graveyard. You're stuck at the completion cycle. Now it's time for you to what? Renewal. Renew. When something dies, it has to renew in another form or fashion. Nothing ever dies. It just transitions. All right, y'all. Final energies. We got same shit, different day, which is also a confirmation of wasting time. If you feel like if things are just the same thing, then you need to do something differently to switch it up. Love on the brain, dreaming, fantasizing, daydreaming, nostalgia. So that's everything. That's the past, the present, the inner child, the future, everything. Love, right in every way. Frank Sinatra. This card don't even go in here. How did that get here? How did that get here? Because we just pulled that. That's crazy. It's time for me to go. The final energy, fishing for comments. What the fuck I tell y'all? Stop doing shit just to be put out here. If you feel like you have a goal, a task, a purpose, whatever, do what you're going to do. But do not do that at the expense of your children or your family or the things that you hold most near and dear to you. So this concludes our session, y'all. Have a great week. If you want to connect with me one-on-one, Patreon, my website, link in bio. Holla back.